In a not-so-distant future, the world was captivated by a figure who seemed to embody innovation, charisma, and a relentless drive for progress: Elon Musk. As his ventures soared, from electric cars to space exploration, his influence morphed into something almost religious. A devoted group of followers, calling themselves the Musketeers, emerged, convinced that Musk was not just a visionary, but a prophet of the new age. The cult formed around a lavish headquarters in a repurposed Tesla factory, where the walls were adorned with murals depicting Musk as a celestial being. Members dressed in sleek, futuristic attire, branding themselves with the Musk logo like a sacred emblem. They believed that by following his vision, they could usher in a utopian future where technology solved every problem. At first, the cult thrived on the thrill of innovation. Weekly gatherings featured motivational speeches, virtual reality experiences of Mars colonization, and Tesla-inspired meditation sessions. Members invested their life savings into Musk's projects, believing that their faith would lead to riches. For a while, it seemed they were right. Stocks surged and new companies sprung up, each claiming a slice of Musk's vision. But as the hype grew, so did the pressure. The cult's leadership, fueled by a toxic mix of ambition and paranoia, began to push for increasingly extravagant projects. A grandiose plan to build a floating city powered entirely by solar energy and occupied by Musketeers was unveiled. Fundraising efforts intensified, and members were urged to contribute even more to realize this dream. As the years passed, reality set in. Investors grew wary. The floating city was riddled with logistical nightmares, environmental challenges, and spiraling costs. Rumors spread that Musk himself had grown distant, preoccupied with new ventures, and less concerned about his followers' extravagant ambitions. The cult's leaders, desperate to maintain their grip, resorted to manipulation and fear tactics, convincing members that failure to support the floating city would result in apocalyptic consequences. The tipping point came when the first phase of the project, a prototype island, sank during testing due to subpar engineering and insufficient funding. The media frenzy that followed was brutal. The Musketeers were portrayed as a misguided, tragic group whose dreams had spiraled into delusion. Trust eroded, and fractures began to appear within the cult. Facing backlash and betrayal, the leadership imploded. Members turned on each other, seeking scapegoats for the disaster. Some left to pursue independent projects, while others doubled down on their faith, convinced that Musk would ultimately come to save them. What followed was a cathartic reckoning. Members shared their stories of sacrifice, revealing the personal toll of blind faith in a figure who had become increasingly unreachable. In the end, the cult of Elon Musk crumbled, but not without leaving a profound mark. Many members learned the hard way that placing faith in a single person, regardless of their achievements, could lead to ruin. The tale of the Musketeers became a cautionary one, warning future generations about the perils of idolization and the importance of critical thinking. As the dust settled, former members began to rebuild their lives, applying their skills and ideas to more grounded, collaborative projects. The floating city may have sunk, but from its wreckage, a more resilient and thoughtful community emerged, proving that true innovation thrives not in isolation, but in unity.